Hey, what's up folks? It's Peshev here, and I wanted to talk about being overqualified. So the other day I had a career workshop here in Santa Monica, and I met several people. One of them said, hey, I'm having some troubles finding a job because everyone says I'm overqualified. And indeed, I mean, his job portfolio and his job description, everything else looked really awesome, but here's one thing. What he had as career expertise, what he had as experience, wasn't really matching the traditional job description. So in order to make everything work a little bit better, and in order to actually make it of use to other people who may be overqualified, there are specific things that you can do in order to get out of the being overqualified trap. And I know very well that it sounds like a nice problem to have, and not too many people are actually being able to get to this point of being overqualified. But as a matter of fact, it's something that can indeed be a problem throughout your career, and especially later, further down your career. One of the events I had here, I also met someone out there, I believe in their 60s, who was extremely knowledgeable and extremely experienced in certain areas such as the military and the law and so forth, and he was also looking for new lines of business, so to speak, to get into something that's more exciting, something that he can employ his own expertise into another, again, field of study. So in order to make it happen, I would suggest to do the following thing. First off, identify the key areas of your expertise throughout the years where you can be most helpful. Now, what I'm saying is that you may have worked at McDonald's and then be a surf teacher and then some other things, but those specific areas of experience means that you have certain qualities that you can extract that are common in the different jobs that you have, which may be a great asset to a certain type of position, such as management, such as coaching, such as training, and so on. Now, I know a lot of wonderful people, a lot of great experienced people who have started a management type of job or consulting or coaching or anything like that without having quite a lot of experience in that specific area, but bringing that expertise for other areas of work they've got. Like they may have had a ballet school prior to that, they may have managed another type of business previously which was completely different, in a different industry. They may have been in film school and dealing with everyone else who's on stage and kind of managing them without really being called manager. You get the point. Like, try to figure out how is your former expertise something that you can bring to kind of more of a management layer type of job. My number 2 advice is try to tap into your own network and find new existing opportunities, which is exactly what I normally tend to call entrepreneurship. What do I mean here? Now, within your network, you likely have people who need certain folks on certain important positions that don't necessarily fit into the same bucket of knowing just one job. Or you can see that definition as something what they call the T-shaped expert, meaning that over the years, if you are now being overqualified to be a writer, to be a developer, to be something else, now, over the years, you've gathered and you've gained different skills and expertise in multiple different, again, fields of study. So in order to map all of that experience into one place, it may be extremely helpful to just find the right people who would appreciate that, people who know you, people who have worked with you in different capacities, and they need someone else to actually employ those skills into one specific area. Now, one good example for that, and so you can actually do that in both mid-level companies, well, mid-sized companies, and also larger companies, but it's not really applicable for a small startup, it's not really applicable for a large corporation. Now, why? Because mid-sized companies, like let's say 50 to, or maybe even 40 to about 150 people, those organizations, they need different forms of management experience, they're rebuilding their processes, they do other type of stuff, and they cannot afford to just hire 5 different people. This incurs communication overhead. There's other forms of challenges that they're pretty much dealing with. And for the next stage companies, they have to rebuild a new layer of management, which is senior management dealing with mid-level managers. Now, if you previously had marketing manager and developer manager and so on, now you need someone who sits between the CMO and above those managers, right? Someone who's actually controlling this part of the department, and ideally someone who's also in charge of different lines of business, like advertisement, together with marketing, together with this, together with that. Or, you know, let's say an HR manager who's also a facility manager, who's also a logistics manager, capable of organizing events. You know, just bundling several different things until an organization finds the right people for all of that. And my last piece of advice is also look into some form of an entrepreneurial journey, partnering up with someone who may have the potential, who may have the skills, who may have the connections to just raise funds, for example, or be in technology or be in sales. You know, just be able to either build a product or be able to sell the product, and you can be the industry expert, the person with the network, with connections, with access to journalists, to editors, to everyone else. So you can be the face of this organization while they're bringing the funds and closing the deals or doing anything along those lines. So those are my tips. If you're overqualified, again, there are several different ways to get out of the rabbit hole, but it's really important to reshape your own skills and actually requalify yourself into something else instead of pitching for a general job that expects putting 40 to 60 hours a week into one specific area of work, instead of combining all of your skills into something that's a lot more powerful and a lot more valuable to the organization.